All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Havikar Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great men, soul, my elder Heroin as well. Salutations to the Ark that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right on Kanak Salam Bayasha Alaf and Lions and Yasha camp. All right, this is a Lions Den exhortation. Lord, willing this lesson is edifying and serves its purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Alright, I'm gonna start out with so last night, this is what inspired the series of events that inspired this lesson that I'm about to do. But to sum it all up, last night I decided, hey, I'm gonna show my woman had never seen the movie The Last Dragon, alright? Go figure. But you know, so I'm like, yo, we finna watch The Last Dragon. And it just hit me different this time. And I was just listening to the song, and it just put me in the mind of former conversation that the elder Harawan and I had had in the past, really dealing with this woman, with this movie, and it just took me to someplace else because I had a series of events that happened this morning where like some money was taken out of my account, and not to get too personal, but like which with that being happened, one of the money was taken out of my account for something that was canceled, and and it wasn't supposed to be taken into account, so it caused other stuff not to be able to get paid for that was very important. So I'm spazzing and whatever, whatnot. But when I thought about it, it was like, oh, that's nothing but a distraction. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting all worked up. I'm gonna, my day was going. This happened first thing when I woke up this morning about 5:30 when I seen this. So now that was gonna ruin my whole day. But then I remembered the movie last night. So what stuck out to me is the intro to the hook of the song "The Glow." All right, the intro says, "I'm gonna read the intro first, then I'm gonna start from the top." It says, "To reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one." Mm, right, because and so for us to reach that upper level, that's what we have to achieve, man. You know what I'm saying? And those things get in the way, right? Really, in my opinion, they get in the way to put for Babylon to put a distasteful taste in our mouth. So we'll always remember how wicked this place is, because Babylon could come just like how John the Revelator marveled at America, the whore, because she was, you know what I'm saying. America can dress itself up to make it seem like you know it's where it's at. America has brainwashed a lot of people, so so we have to remain focused. And I think these things happen just to keep that distasteful taste in our mouth of this place, man, so we can stay focused on getting to that upper level. You know, well, I just want to go through the lyrics and go into some scriptures that what I'm saying these lyrics relate to. You know, Lord willing, it helps anybody out that's you know going through similar things, or like all of us are trying to reach that other level. Those ones that really truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai to receive the glow. All right. So now let's go in the lyrics of the glow, song by Willie Hutch, 1985. Right. It says, "Now all the masters knows that you need the glow. You need the glow to grow. All right. So we need that spirit within us. You know what I'm saying? So once that spirit is in us, it's going to start showing outside. That's where that glow comes from. You know, it says, if you love to live, right, to be alive in your house shy, you live to love. You got to move to the upper level. We have to ascend to get the. We cannot be stagnant in one position in this truth. We have to increase and grow and grow and grow and grow so that light can increase, man. So we can achieve the outer glow from what's in. You see that? It says, when you got the glow, there ain't no stopping what you want to do. See that? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no stopping us. Once we receive that and we know it and we make that sacrifice of the flesh to let the spirit just take over, there's no stopping us, man. It says, it goes into the hook, it says, to reach that upper level, your mind, body, and soul must be one. It's a sacrifice. It takes hard work. It's a way of life, man. See that? It's a sacrifice that takes hard work. It's a way of life. So now we don't become just hearers of the word, we become doers of the word. All right. It says, when you got the glow, you feel the one. When you got the glow, your body's gold. See that? So don't let go of the power of elevation. See, when you got the glow, you feel Yahweh Shemel Shai. What he said, when you got the glow, your body's gold. Or he said, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. Even the golden, even the golden wedge of Ophir, which had some of the purest gold over in that area. See that? So now it's trying to obtain the mastery. You see that? Second, real quick. Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm just, let me get something real quick. Let's make sure this is the right one. It's lucky for me coughing, man. This Esau and this bullshit. Oh, forget this. Hold on. All right, so right. So now obtaining the mastery. So the first verse it says, "Now all the masters know that you need the glow, right? But how do you obtain it? Because to to become one with the mind, body, and soul, right? To reach the other level, your mind, body, and soul must become as one, right? So you become one as one unto Yahweh Shemal Shai. So, but Yahweh Shemal Shai can't enter into anything defiled. You see what I'm saying? Now we're not gonna get. We're still in the sinful flesh, but being in the sinful flesh, the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai can take over. Well, we're not out here sinning, just out here loosey goosey sinning willfully. You see what I'm saying? So we have to sacrifice the flesh, right, in order to become one with Yahweh Shemal Shai. Right. So now it says, now all the masters knows that you need the glow. We need the glow. We need the glow to grow. We got to grow in the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai. All right. So we need that. All right. So now this is 1 Corinthians 9:25. It says, every man that strives for the mastery is temperate in all things. All right. Self-control, meaning content. To exhibit self-government, conduct oneself temporally. All right. All right. It says, and a figure drawn from athletes who are in preparing themselves for games abstain from unwholesome foods, wine, well, okay, but just controlling yourself, like having a little bit of self control, man. So those that strive for the mastery are temperate in all things. This is one of the beginning process of having the mind, body, and soul becoming one. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So now we do the same thing that they do in the world, right? But they do it for an incorruptible crown. They do it for a corruptible crown. We do it for an incorruptible crown. See that? It says, therefore, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Right? We ain't fighting for no reason. He's fighting against the flesh. It says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached unto others, I myself should be a castaway. So so it's going back to it being a way of life. It's a sacrifice. It takes hard work. It's a way of life, right? So now read 1 Corinthians 9:27 again. It said, "But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway." Right? So it's so to strive for the mastery, we have to bring under subjection the flesh, right? Through the spirit. That's how we become one with Yahweh by Shemi Shai. All right. As a matter of fact, bring under subjection the flesh. So basically, going into Romans chapter 6, I'm not going to get it, where he says he renders his. Maybe I should. Not the whole thing, but it says, "Render therefore your bodies as instruments of righteousness." So you have to bring the flesh in under subjection to the spirit. I think it's Romans 6. Shalakia. This is a. All right, this is Romans 6:12. It says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal bodies, that you should obey the lust thereof." Right, you got to bring it in under subjection. Verse 13, it said, "Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness, but unto sin, but yield yourself unto Yahweh." That's how we connect and become one. "As those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto Yahweh." Right. So now, once we become connected and become one with Yahweh Shem Shai, we can be used as instruments of righteousness. All right. It says, "For sin shall not have dominion over you." See that? "For ye are not under the law, but under grace." All right. So what the point the point was in 13. It says, "Neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto Yahweh as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto Yahweh by Hashem Oshai." See that? So making that sacrifice and doing that hard work, right? And having faith in Yahweh Shai that He's our deliverer, that's going to bring us to Yahweh. All right. So striving for the mastery, what do? We put on as the elect, man. All right. So now going back to like cutting off the flesh and being risen, you know, with Yahweh Shai, it says, this is Colossians 3:1, it says, "If ye be then risen with Yahweh Shai, seek those things which are above, where Yahweh Shai sitteth on the right hand of Yahweh." Right. So we're no longer focused on the earth. We're seeking those things that are above, man. See that? We're not connected. We're not trying to seek things on this earth. We're trying to seek things, connect to things above the earth, connecting to Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right, it says verse 2, it says, "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth." Slacking. See that? Storing your riches in heaven. So we're trying to be connected to y'all by Shimon Shah, not connected to this world. It says, it says, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh by Shimon Shai. Hamashiach. It says, when Yahweh Shai, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Right. So we'll have that same glow because we become connected to him. That connection starts on this side. It says, mortify therefore your members which are upon earth. All right. According to the Spirit. Mortify your members as if they were members from coming from the heavens, because the Spirit that's within these members come from the heavens. You see that? Just because the flesh wants us to yield to, because the flesh, where the flesh comes from, it comes from the ground, from the earth. So it's trying to force us to yield our members, right? It's gonna automatically yield to the earth. See that? But through the spirit of Yahweh by Shema Shai, we can yield, like we're yielding as instruments of righteousness. So we'll have that glow, all right, and they'll see what's within us on the outside. I ain't necessarily saying that our bodies are gonna light up like that, but they're gonna know men of the Lord when they see them. All right, when they see us, so I'm us. All right. It says verse 6. It says no, verse 5. It says, "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake the wrath of Yahweh cometh on the children of disobedience." Right. So we're separated from that. It says, "And which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them." Right. It says, but now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath. Because if you watch the movie, right, the whole thing was about him. Like in the beginning, like you know what I'm saying, he was peaceful, but when it became that time to fight, he was ready. You know what I'm saying? But he went through so much until it got to that point where it was, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be the same for us, and everybody we're gonna be kicking ass. But right now, it's for time for us to fully equip ourselves and become one with Yahweh by Shemal Shai. All right. Verse 9 it says, "Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds." Right. So now we become new creatures. And he's not. He became. You know what I'm saying? He went from Bruce Leroy to the master. See that? So we have to put away those childish things as we transition um, to men of gold that have the glow of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Verse 10. "And he put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him." See that? And now we're connected as one. All right, so we become that reflection of Yahweh by Shema Shai in his likeness, resemblance. hmm And so that's what we're striving for. All right. All right, this is First John 3:2. It says, "Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh, and it doeth not appear what we shall be, But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. You see that? We shall see him as he is, and we shall be like him. So the Lord created us to be like him. He's creating us to be like him, a reflection of him on the earth. You see that? For us to have that glow. Colossians 3 and 10, it says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision or uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Yahushua is all in all of the elect. All in all of the elect. That's just talking about the elect of Israel. Because going into verse 12 right here, it says, put on therefore as the elect. See that? Holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. See that? Putting on as the elect, right? Wearing the attire of the elect. Putting on as the elect. Becoming one with Yahweh by Shimei Shah. See that? So it's a sacrifice. It takes hard work. It is a way of life. When you got the glow, you feel the one. When you got the glow, your body's gold. See that? What is that? Isaiah 13, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. See that? That's what the Lord is building us into. Everybody knows you need the glow, man. All right. So now, to become one with Yahweh by Shimei Shai. This is John chapter 14, verse 20 says, at that day ye shall know that I am in the Father, and ye in me, and I in you. See that? Now we become that a reflection of that light, glowing in the spirit of Yahweh by Shimei Shai. That's what we're trying to achieve. And every and we're in the valley of the shadow of death. We're in the land of darkness. And everything of the darkness is surrounding us trying to consume us. So everything that happens in this matrix is really majority of things that happen in this matrix is really happening to get our mind off of that one common goal. All right, to receive the glow in Yahweh by Shimei Shai. Let's get um hmm. So through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh by Shimei Shai, we become one with them. And we just read that earlier. You see that? So that's what we're trying to achieve, to become one with Yahweh by Shimei Shai. But everything outside of that is a distraction. So we have to make that sacrifice of cutting off the flesh and moving according to the spirit. And when we move according to the spirit of Yahweh by Shimei Shai, we become one with Yahweh by Shimei Shai. Matter of fact, let's go to that. I'm gonna close it out with John chapter 17. All right. This is John 17 and 1. It says, these works spake Yahweh and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee. All right. So that time has come that Yahweh Shai was going to Yahweh Shai is going to be exalted and sit on his right hand as he did in the beginning. All right. It says, "As thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know that the only true power, and Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, whom thou hast sent." All right, see that? I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou hast given me. Completion. It says, "And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was," right, from the beginning, right? It was just him and Yahweh Shai in the beginning. It says, verse 6, it says, "I have manifested thy name to those men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest to me, and they have kept thy word." See, this is going into us being joined as one with Yahweh by Shem Shai. And he gave us the name for us to be able to call on. It says, "Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast gavest me are of thee. For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have surely and know surely that I come out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me." Right? And those that believe are gonna believe the same thing in us. All right, that are chosen to listen to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, "I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but thou for them that which thou hast given me, for they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them." So he said, all the same ones, the ones, they're all, the elect are of Yahweh by Shem Shai. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. You see that? It says, all mine are thine. Yahweh Shai said, all his are yours. All the ones I've gathered are yours. And the ones that you drew to me are my, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. Verse 11, it says, "Now I am no more in the world, that these are in the world, and I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep them through thy own name, those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one." See that? So as our mind, body, and soul become is one, you know what I'm saying? It becomes one with Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right. I think I'm gonna close it out there. It says, I'm gonna read it one more time. It says, "Now I am no more in the world." Right. Yahweh Shai is not in the world anymore, but his spirit is still down here. "But these are in the world, and I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one." And that's sacrifice, become one. The same in likeness, a reflection. All right, and that's our ultimate goal that we're trying to achieve. So we have to, while we're down here in this matrix, we have to put on as the elect. All right. Lord willing, this lesson to edify and serve the purpose for us. Hopefully, elect the ones who truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shimon Shai. With that, I'd like to say, call Halayim La Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Harikah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder heroine as well. Salutations to the Akim that pushing the truth, sincerity, true, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shimon Shai. Shalom.